Okay, so in this challenge, we're going to be getting our enemy to spawn. So what we're going to do is I'm going to help you get to a point where we can indefinitely spawn the enemy, and it's up to you to create the logic for how frequently we spawn them. So let's open up our spawn manager. And what we want to do here is say we want to spawn an enemy every 5 seconds. I'm going to delete the update method because we're not going to be using it. But every 5 seconds, I want to spawn an enemy. So because I've already said every 5 seconds, you should already know that we're going to be using a coroutine because I can say, hey, spawn an enemy, wait 5 seconds, and then I want to spawn one again. So you're going to start out by creating a coroutine. All right, so create a coroutine to spawn the player spawn the enemy every 5 seconds. Now, in order to spawn it indefinitely, you need to create what's called a game loop. And a game loop, you can think of it as a while loop. So basically, while some condition is true, we want to spawn this indefinitely. So for instance, it might be eventually what we'll do is while our player is alive, or while player lives is less than, or greater than 0, we want to spawn forever. But what we can do is actually, as long as the game is running indefinitely, we spawn every 5 seconds. So to do that, there is a method in C# called the while loop. And the while loop allows you to run some code while some condition within these parentheses is considered true. So for instance, to create an infinite loop, you can actually just put in here true. So while true, this will run forever. So if I had a debug.log or any code right here, this code will never get ran because the while loop is stuck in an infinite loop. Now, if you actually were to run this bit of code here, if I go ahead and say here, while true debug.log, let's go ahead and say in a while loop, this is called an infinite loop, and they can be quite dangerous. If you were to run the game right now, we would be stuck in an infinite loop, and our memory would be eaten up, and the game would crash. Like our actual editor might crash because our computer would take up all of the resources for this while loop. So if it's so dangerous, why do this? Well, one, as long as the game is running, we want to spawn enemies. However, when we use a while loop in a coroutine, we have the ability to let the program breathe. So currently in this while loop, it would print out a message every frame, 60 frames per second, and all the memory would be eaten up. But in a coroutine, you can use a while loop, and then you can go ahead and say you would return new wait for seconds. And that new wait for seconds, for 5 seconds, that gives the program the ability to breathe, and you can go ahead, you can spawn an object, wait 5 seconds, and you can just stay within the while loop. So that's what I want you to do. You're going to create a while loop within your coroutine, and that coroutine is going to spawn an enemy every 5 seconds. I'll see you in the challenge review.